So we have Mr. Doug Massi here. For those that don't know Doug, final expense specialist extraordinaire, and now he's starting to do some cross-selling. Him and his wife are doing some cross-selling. Doug wins final expense carrier trips every single year. He's produced over 400,000 several years in a row. And we go way back. And then Mr. Javier, as we call him, JP, wins the Mutual of Omaha final expense trips every single year. So again, top talent in the final expense business. Mr. Chad Hanley started, what, 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, and has, I think, over 500 Medicare clients on the books. And he produces at the same time over 200,000 a year in final expense as well, cross-selling machine. So anyway, welcome our panelists, and we have some questions, and this is going to be open mic, guys. So if y'all have any questions, anybody just want to ask questions as we're going, just let me know, and I'll pass off the mic.
I wanted to say something really quickly about Mr. Luis Moreno. You didn't have all the time that you wanted. You could have used another 2 hours. And I wanted to let everyone know in the room, as you're showing your phone number, one of my first interactions with Luis before I even started selling anything, I went down to San Antonio just to go to do like some ride-alongs. And I stopped by Luis's office. The guy's in the office. He has one cell phone hooked up to one ear. His eyes are bugged open. He has another cell phone hooked up, like butted in the other ear. He has a landline going. He has people coming in and out of his office. A machine. I've never seen anyone handle so much business pressure at one time. And I know that sometimes I'll call him with questions that, maybe I should know the answer. But even at Christmas time, I gave him like a big bottle of vodka, and he's wondering, what the hell is this for? And it was just because I've never seen anyone really work as hard as that guy. I mean, a lot of people work hard. But when he says he's going to pick up the phone or he will call you back, it's incredible. He actually does. And so I just wanted to send some love your way and some props, because Matt gets quite a bit of love up here, but thank you for everything that you do.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome.
All right, so I'll start the questioning off. Again, if y'all want to ask questions, y'all can ask. Y'all can grab the mic, whatever y'all want, but I want this to be interactive as much as possible. But the question I always like to know is, and y'all can pass it down the line here, but a couple of things that y'all would do differently, knowing what y'all know now after being in the business for a while.
Cross-selling, Medicare.
Yeah, when I was doing all that heavy production 8-9 years ago, writing 300,000-400,000 annualized premium, had I been doing Medicare Advantage, I probably wouldn't be here. I'd probably be somewhere $400,000 or $500,000 a year in renewals I walked away from. Easily, more.
I'm trying to help you with it. I'm trying.
Yeah, so from the very first appointment, I jumped right into the recommendations made by 360, which was to sell final expense, sell Medicare, sell hospital indemnities, and I did it from the very first appointment. What I would do differently though, you guys, when you are in the Medicare business, enough is instead of playing defense, get the CRM going, reach out to these people, text messages, emails, calling them on the phone, dropping things in the mail, snail mail. Play D. If you don't, it's very, very frustrating to be thinking about residuals down the road, and you've put in 600 applications, and all of a sudden you're like, active book of business is 300. What happened? Well, it's these seniors are slammed. It's a fickle business, so you got to play some defense, because I think defense from the very beginning is wise for anyone jumping into Medicare.
Now everybody wants to take their business to the next level, right? But what are some of the actions that y'all have taken to take it to the next level?
I would say I came into business just doing FE for a long time, so the actions I've taken, a lot of stuff has changed, since 15 years ago, So yeah, cross-selling, getting some business that'll get you some renewals. That is probably the name of the game for me right now. If I would have did that a long time ago, it's like Doug said, so getting that going now.
Well, so I started like most of us, get some leads every week, running my area. I think one of the biggest game changers for me was being open to traveling. And when I say traveling, I don't mean having to fly out of state. When I say traveling, I mean driving 2, 3, 4 hours to any specific area. And being open to more leads. At one point when I was writing a lot of business, 50, 60 leads a week was normal, and when we go on vacation or for whatever reason, holidays, I never said, hey, turn the leads off. I just let them keep coming in. And then so, mid-January, we're back in the field and we've got, Mariana and my wife and I, we've got like 200 leads built up. Okay, great. It just makes it that much easier to get a start. So, I think that's a big game changer for a lot of agents. Being open, it's hard. When I sold mortgage protection, I did that for years. And we lost our product, and the managers said to me, they said, look, we've got this book of business. I lived in Miami, in Tampa, so you could go stay a few days in Tampa. I quit 3 days later. I was like, I'm not doing that. Now I look back, I'm still glad I quit because we're all here now. But when I look back at it, whoa, I had access to a whole book of business and I walked away from it. So be more open-minded. And I did that because I didn't want to drive the 4.5 hours to Tampa to stay in a hotel.
Got a question here for you guys.
Hey, I was wondering, if you're doing the final expense appointment, or you want to, introduce it to Medicare, does that have to be done a separate appointment? Like she was talking about, exclusivity of the appointments.
Well, if you're leading with FE, like a life lead and a life appointment, you can cross-sell into, or you can cross into Medicare and be compliant. It's the other way around that you can't. So if you go in there talking about Medicare, you're not supposed to come out there with a life app. You gotta do a separate appointment.
JP, I want to expand on that. Guys, if you're in an FE and you want to transition to Medicare, how many of y'all know how to fish? What do you got to put at the end of the hook? Bait. You got to put some bait on it. Look, this is the best bait you can put. Check it out. All right, you can do this. This is good. Why not? You have to wear a mask anyway, or you should. This is bait. Okay, I gave everybody some of these. Okay, this is the bait or you carry your smart book and you put it on the table and ask them, or they're like, oh, you Medicare? As soon as they bring it up, you can compliantly go into your presentation. Or we had a compliance officer tell us, this is another way to fish. Tell them what you do. I help seniors with plans. I help them get the extra help. I help them get blah, 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 blah. If you're interested, just ask. Well, by the way, yes, I want more dental. I'm so glad you asked, and you jump in your conversation and you compliantly did it. There we go.
Yeah, I think part of, my personal evolution is that I came in, 23 years as a fitness trainer. I don't look like one now, but that's what I did for 23 years. And
That's what final expense does too.
that's exactly right. So in coming into this industry, I knew that there were guys like Matt who had sold 500, guys like Doug, 400 year in and year out, and guys like JP with Mutual Omaha. I saw what Adam was doing with MAPDs, and then to this day, I see Ethan's growing an agency, Adam's growing an agency. There are people doing things better than what I've done. There are people who've done things that I haven't done. I need to remain coachable. Where are we going to get if we're not coachable? We have to be coachable. We have to be open to doing things in a new way. Today, I'm learning things. It was fantastic listening to Anthony talk. So much good information. It was ridiculous. But I do want to say that I think one thing that we could probably all agree on: seniors are sick and tired They are sick and tired of just the calls coming in, the mail coming in. They're bombarded. They're exhausted. They just want people to be real with them. And even if it's over the phone, if you're giving them knowledge and you're educating and you're showing them an ethical fiber, you have a really good chance of getting in, because that's just eliminated 90% of the game. So many agents out there don't know what the hell they're doing. And so, I remain coachable and just keep the ethics high, but gotta know your products.
So my question is, with all the changes that are taking place in the industry, what is to each of you is the biggest game changer? Either be a software or something that we can get our hands on.
Your vital expense.
Honestly, yeah.
But game changer, you mean like that in a positive way, or something that is
Yeah, in a positive way.
game?
Or I want to say a tool. What's the most positive tool that you see right now?
Well, definitely your CRM, and you gotta understand it takes money to make money. Like, a lot of people want to hit big numbers. A lot of people say, oh, Chad did 500 Medicares. Well, ask him how much he pays his appointment setter. Will you pay that? Ask him how many leads he's getting. Will you buy those leads? So you can't really expect to hit whatever somebody else's numbers are without putting the work in, and also, schedule is probably one of the biggest things for me. And I think for a lot of people, if you have a schedule and okay, I leave the house at 9, or I leave the house, whatever time you leave, that's your time to leave. If you had a job where you had your boss saying, hey, you gotta be here, you're gonna be fired, well, guess what? You had to leave to get there at that time to clock in and clock out. And if you have that mentality, like, hey, this is my job, it's your business, but you have that mentality, like, I gotta be there at this time, this is my schedule, I don't care what's going on, and pretty much put in the right time. Don't think you go out early and you're sitting in your car when you get no-showed, and you're just playing on Facebook or something like, no, you should be in front of people if you're doing the face-to-face thing, or, calling leads like Anthony's doing, or on the phone. Whatever it is that's marketing your product or your business is gonna make you money.
I think it's important, over the past couple of years, the final expense industry, what's been happening between COVID and everything else, with the returns dwindling on direct mail leads, I think, and it's just constantly changing. So one of the important things that I believe in, and so when Anthony was speaking about generating leads, even as a face-to-face agent, I think that is really, really important. That if you're in this room, you should be at least considering generating your own leads, whether you sell over the phone or whether you're doing it locally, in addition to whatever leads you're currently working, which mostly, for most of us, are direct mail leads. But to me, like, there's one thing, so we were talking about it last night, you shared it with me, and you got it from Ruben.
Ruben got it from me.
Ruben,
yeah.
okay, is what you guys are doing with your existing clients. And that I would like you to share, because to me, that is, wow.
Well, I think Ruben's gonna go over that, or no? Or did you do that in the morning?
Do it, man.
I don't wanna cut
Yeah,
your.
we did it earlier, but I think you'd go deeper into it, yeah.
So the CRM, when he said the game changer, I think I said the CRM, but then I started talking about other stuff, because it's a lot of things. But what I've done was, once COVID came, probably March 2020, I just started hammering my book. And I was looking, I was like, man, I've been active FE on the field probably since 2011, 10. And I have spreadsheets, I have stuff, and I went back in there and I was like, I've got thousands of people to call. So for a few months, I ate off of my book, and it was all, hey, just letting you know I'm gonna be in the area, whatever, and adding coverage. Even if you have 2 years of people, you can still go back to those people. You don't have to have 10 years. And what I started doing is with the CRM, calling them for birthdays. Probably the things that I'm starting doing, Anthony is probably like, it made sense to him to do from the jump because the way he runs his business, you know. But following up, a lot of follow-ups, and even I've been doing little gifts, small little things like, hey, I'm stopping by, I'm gonna be by there. We started doing that messaging system, the
Slide broadcast. Yep.
So for December, I didn't want to deal with a lot of the, call me after Christmas, call me, and I've had some killer Decembers. You can make a lot of money in December running leads. It isn't that you can't. I just didn't want to deal with it this year. I wanted to spend time. I had family come in town, so I was like, whatever, I'm going to try this slide broadcast. So we send out messages, which was a pre-recorded message to my book saying that that insurance rates are going to be going up next year. So give me a call for more details. So it was just like an automated message. I think I called a couple hundred people, and it's pretty much just plug the numbers in and hit call, and it calls them. So it's pretty cool. It saves a lot of money, and it's very cheap. I had a bunch of callbacks. I think I did like 15,000 in my own book on December. And half of it I was home, half of the month of December.
Through slide broadcast.
Through slide broadcasts, you know. And I was just, now I'm like, wait a minute, I'm barely even using this the way I should be. I can send out other messages. So now we're sending out messages for birthdays. I mean, I think what I was telling you, I showed you the spreadsheet. Because I've been at this quite a while, I had like 150 birthdays in December, like 190 birthdays in January, and another 100 and some birthdays in February. So I've got 500 leads right there. So you're just following up with your people, and that helps a lot. Is that what we're talking about?
That's it,
Do
man.
you use a lot of phone lines or?
No, it's a website you log into and you copy and paste the phone numbers. And it's a dialer basically, and it'll, so what it is, I just want to explain it. It'll call the person you want to call, and it'll ring one time, then hang up. So it'll like call, hang up, leave a voicemail. So the person sees a missed call, and it'll have your phone number. You can put the phone number you want to put, and then it leaves a voicemail with your message saying whatever you want to say.
And it's a familiar voice.
And it's your voice, and they call you back. So a lot of people, you know, I said insurance. You know, you can say it however you want to say it. I tweaked with the message, Matt knows I kind of said it different ways. But when you said it more with like an urgency, people were calling me like, what do you mean my rate's going to go up? You told me it's never going to go up. And I was like, yeah, well, see, this is exactly why we did this. It's a good thing you did this when you did it, because yeah, yours ain't going to go up. However, for any new coverage, you know, moving forward, everything's going to be going up now. So this is a courtesy call, giving you the heads up. If you want to add coverage, I can take care of that for you right now, you know, so.
So one thing I want to say really quickly is a couple of years ago when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my career, it certainly wasn't insurance. I never thought about that in my life. But there's a lot of things out there, like even with insurance, if you go work for a corporation, you get old leads. The top producer getting all the fresh leads, they're getting the calls. It's not a level playing field. This is a level playing field. So if I go around this room and I go to Doug, I go to Matt, Ruben, and Adam, and Ethan over here, Anthony, because I don't know Anthony, but he said it, you know, Matt, JP, it's leads. You gotta get your leads. And then when you get your leads, where are you gonna get your appointments? Are you gonna set them yourself? Some people do. I don't want to. I've never set any of my own leads, ever. My wife tried it, hated it. It's a thankless job. So I got an appointment setter. I didn't have the money for all of the leads. So when people start getting cheap with leads, I didn't have the money for the leads. I had a credit card with $3,000 worth of room, and I used that sucker. So I got my leads, and I went out and I hustled. I was working telesales. I hustled. I didn't want to knock. I didn't want to work telesales. But I knew the teleleads. I knew though that I would move into Facebook and direct mail. So when we talk about game changers and we talk about making more money, we need appointments. We need to talk with people. We need to get in front of people. We need leads. And we need to focus maybe on our own characteristics. Am I being pushy? Do I know what the heck I'm talking about? Am I knowledgeable? Do these people feel me? Do they feel like I'm being genuine with them? Because they're sick and tired of hearing from robots and jerks. So leads, appointments, that's the game changer. That's the nuts and bolts. There is no secret. That is exactly what we've all done. We had a lot of leads, we got a lot of appointments, and we went out and sold, and that would instantly turn, I don't know, half this room, 2/3 of this room, 3/4 of the room, into six-figure making income agents. We are on a level playing field. No one in this room is doing something that the next person can't.
One more quick question, last one, and if I can get a quick answer. If you're only doing something and you're not adding, if you're transitioning and adding Medicare, let's just say, you're doing only final expense, what advice do you have for somebody doing that? Just real quick, just
doing one product, you said?
yeah, and you want to add Medicare. Would you get more
Yeah,
leads? Is it just asking the questions?
Well, you gotta, get help from somebody that has been doing Medicare. Get trained some, or go on appointments, do ride-alongs. Have somebody ride along with you on your book or on your leads, and learn how to cross-sell, and have the guy take over at that point.
Don't do what I did and hesitate and wait 9 years and go. In the beginning, it's like, oh, this is a lot. Maybe another time. Don't do that. Just push yourself to do what you have to do. We will help you. We will give you some secret stuff to make your life so much easier when going through the whole process.
Yeah, and remember, any help that you need, you have Luis's phone number. He'll be ready to take all of your calls. For me, we all know that the only way that growth happens is to be uncomfortable, get out of your comfort zone. So for my first appointment, I walked in, I never sold final expense or an advantage plan or a HIT plan. So I just dove all in. I wasn't comfortable knocking. In AEP, I went all Medicare. Now I'm not doing any FE, I'm not doing HIPs. I'm just gunning it for Medicare. I want residual. I'm not comfortable right now as we speak. I'm gonna make less money this year. I don't have the upfront FE money coming in. But I know though that if I could put up some big numbers with Medicare, the residuals are gonna snowball fast. So get out of the comfort zone, and that's my recommendation there.